It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Tuesday, September 11th, 2018. It is 7 a.m. and welcome to Down on the Corner program.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. There's
another beautiful morning.
Boy, did you see? Oh, I posted some pictures on Facebook of the sunrise this morning as I coming into the studio down here on Arkansas Avenue. I looked in the rearview mirror and I stopped.
I didn't catch sunrise. Well, I'm sleeping on my way to work.
There you go.
But the temperature was just awesome.
Oh yeah, I took little Pepper, my dog, out about 5:30 this morning, and walk out the garage door like, ooh, this is nice, 59, 60 degrees. Turn that attic fan on for about 15, 20 minutes, pull that air through the house. Very nice.
It's one thing I don't have is an attic fan, but they're handy.
You know, it sure does. This one's right in the hallway, and you can open up either end of the house, and then I'll open the garage door a little bit and let it exhaust out of the attic, so it'll cool the attic down, bring the cool air in through the house, and I've had the air conditioner shut off since Sunday. So
I used to have one in my other house, and I used it all the time.
Yeah, they're nice. When the humidity is low enough, you can handle it. You know, when that humidity gets up there, you just forget about that. But anyway, good morning, everybody, and welcome Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman here along with Scooter Callis. And where were you 17 years ago?
17 years ago.
September 11th, 2001.
Yep. I know where you're going at. I was at work, and I had a construction company at the time, and we get like 100 phone calls. I mean, there's always noise and stuff going on. I remember sitting in my office, and I didn't have the TV on, but my secretary did, and everything had went silent in that office. Yeah. I mean, no phone calls, no nothing. And it's like, what is going on? And then she said, you need to come look at this. And I think it was quiet pretty much the whole day.
Yeah, it is pretty well just...
I mean, affected everybody instantly.
Yeah. Wow. No,
I'll never forget the silence, because it's something I've never heard in that office, unless I get in early before we open or whatever. But it was the first time. It's just,
what a day.
You almost hear.
The two things I remember vividly: 9/11, of course, which was only 17 years ago. But then, of course, we've talked about it before: the President Kennedy assassination. And Mom, of course, I was only 5 years old at the time, so it's been 55 years ago. Dale, come eat lunch. You know, we had a little cart, had a little. Back then, the TVs were a piece of furniture. I mean, bigger than my Ampeg. Well, about the size of the radio sitting over here. And Mom always liked, at that time, there was a soap opera called As the World Turns. And, you know, you see the vintage clip of Walter Cronkite saying about the president. Well, that's what I watched. And I remember it just very vividly. And ironically, that's all I remember. I remember the interruption on television. And I remember watching Walter Cronkite. And I remember when Dad got home around 5 o'clock after the president, been pronounced dead. They were on their way back to Washington and stuff like that. But that 9/11. But anyway, fly your flag today. Remember those that have fallen. Anyway, we're enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee. Hope you're doing the same thing. 3 locations to serve you: Balmer Boulevard, Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. I was down there yesterday and got a mocha while I was down there. Very good. They did a great job. Then, of course, there's 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. Brewed Awakening Coffee. 3 great locations to serve you. And so enjoy the best coffee in town. Stop by the studio sometime. The coffee pot's always on. And love to have you visit with us and have a great cup of coffee. Right?
There you go.
Brewed Awakening Coffee. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening Coffee, you're just drinking muddy water. Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes across the state. The utmost in professionalism and just outright respect, and people that will bend over. Morning, Tobias. People that will bend over backwards to make the service what you want for your loved one. When the time arises, be sure to choose Roller Funeral Homes all across the state of Arkansas. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, 17 years ago, New York City, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania. So many lives lost, so many families affected. Not much more I can say other than I pray nothing else like this ever happens again. Let us never forget, and in memory of September 11th, 2001. Amen.
Amen.
Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes. Well, what's going on at Greg's Farm Services? They bring us the morning weather each and every day. Greg's Farm Services, on the farm, around the home, and in the community. You ready?
I'm ready.
Lawnmower races. See that little block
right
there?
I forgot about that.
That's going to be so much fun. I love the lawnmower races. I'm going to go to the we got chainsaw competition in the Agri Barn. Let's see, that would be in the, what's that, the west, southwest, southern end of it? Yeah, south end of it. And, man, that's a lot of fun to watch. That'll start about 4 o'clock. The lawnmower races start about 6. A lot of fun there at the county fair coming up this week. Lawnmower races sponsored by Greg's Farm Services, on the farm, around the home, in the community. You can go to gregsfarmservices.com, check out their store specials and announcements. Their location is Highway 126 in Gassville, or 1309 Bradley Drive in Mountain Home. We'll take a quick look, see what's going on here. Deer corn, $5.50 for a 50-pound bag. Be sure to take advantage of that. Buy one, get half off on any combination of Cowgirl Tough clothing and Montana West purses and jewelry items in stock. Be sure to check that out. End of season clearance sale on the cedar planting boxes. You can get 4x4, both raised and ground boxes, and a 4x8 ground box. They range in price from $76 to $165. And be sure to take advantage of that. The bug assault gun, so tempting to go out there and get one of those. It'd be a lot of fun just to have in the studio. Wonder what Tobias would do if we had one of those and just started firing buckets.
I definitely have to shoot him with it. There's no doubt. I love you, Tobias, but
he'd probably come over here and whop us with something.
It's an assault gun. I'd have to shoot you.
10% off Corinthian wind chimes. And check out the semi-quart muck tubs, $15.99. Trap in a trap for $27.99. Garden tools, $7.99 each, your choice. FlexRite garden hose, $17.99 for a 50-foot length. Greg's Farm Services, on the farm, around the home, in the community. Greg's Farm Services. Check them out at gregsfarmservices.com. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. Before we get to the temperatures, we'll show the tropical alerts. This is South Carolina. Can you pick that? Yeah, there we go. This is South Carolina, North Carolina, from Chesapeake all the way down to Charleston. A friend of mine lives out there near the Fayetteville area. About an hour in from the coast, has already purchased a generator and buttoned down the hatches because it's going to get pretty bad, in that part. And so she actually grew up in Yellville but lives out there now. Said, "You gonna be okay?" Well, we're buying a generator. So anyway, temperature wise right now, Mountain Home, we're at 60 degrees at Mountain Home, 57 in Harrison, 61 at Hardy. Mountain View checks in at 61, Yellville at 57, Marshall at 61, Calico Rock at 60. Around the region, we've got St. Louis at 58, Copper Bluff at 59, Branson, Missouri at 57, same at West Plains. Look at this, Watford City, 57 degrees, 3 degrees difference between here and Watford City, North
Carolina. Same as West Plains?
Same as West Plains, yep. 1,300 miles apart. We all breathe the same air. Mm-hmm. Where'd that come from? That's what President Kennedy speeches. We all breathe the same air. Anyway, the hurricane, let's see if we got a hurricane alert. Or tracking. Here we go, right here. Winds 140 miles an hour, pressure 944 millibars, movement west-northwest at 15, location 26.4 north at 50, is that 64.1 west.
Category 4?
Yeah, it's a Cat 4.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and they anticipate it's going to be a Cat 5 and I think it's going to lose a little bit of force before it actually hits, but this is the projection right now. And so I think between Thursday evening and Friday morning, you can see this is Charleston, South Carolina. Then it comes in. Here's the North Carolina-Virginia line right here.
Yeah, by Wednesday it's up to 150 mile an hour they're expecting. And
yeah, but that I've heard one report, and it's all speculation right now because they just don't know exactly what temperature the water is going to be where the eye is at. So it could be a Cat 5 when it hits, could be a Cat 4. And it could even dwindle down to a 3. Come Sunday, Nashville could get a little bit of rain out of this, along with South Carolina, North Carolina. But Virginia, Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, even as far over as Atlanta, Georgia could be affected by some of this stuff. Nothing really, I wouldn't think south of Atlanta would be too bad. I don't think Atlanta's going to be that bad. With this, even with this southern path right here coming into Nashville, it's going to miss the Atlanta, Georgia area by quite a ways, I should say. But it is what it is, you know. And so all your tropical alerts, your storm surge, this is the surge reports and the state of emergency now issued for Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. So we got 4 states in the state of emergency.
I'd be packing up and getting out of there. Yeah. Let it pass.
And see, they've got North Carolina all the way back to the Tennessee line, South Carolina all the way back to the Georgia line. So anyway, on the radar this morning, we'll take a quick look. We got shower activity in the Gulf of Mexico along the Texas coast and parts of Louisiana. We'll hit the Little Rock stop and take a look. We do have some showers showing up in the southern part of the state. I'm going to refresh that and just make sure we're barking up the right tree here. It is showing some shower activity in southern Arkansas, but they said really no rain. But anyway, that's affecting, according to this radar, it's affecting I-30 towards Texarkana and a little bit of I-40 going towards Memphis. And some of this stuff here is showing up towards Jonesboro. So anyway, northern part of the state clear. 62-412 is clear. I-49 is clear. Most of I-40 is clear. Highway 65, Little Rock to Branson. And once you get past Batesville, 167 and Highway 67 going towards Poplar Bluffs in good shape. In Missouri, St. Louis stop. A little bit along I-70, Jeff City to St. Louis. I-44, Rolla to St. Louis. I didn't know we really had any rain. I'm just wondering how accurate this is. This is showing a little bit Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon, I-44, because they're saying it was dry for the next 7 days. So anyway, not much going on in the country right now. New England, New England getting some shower activity. The coast of Texas getting a lot here in the Gulf of Mexico, and a little bit on the Canadian border north of North Dakota and Minnesota. Check that forecast real quick. You can see all the hurricane warnings here along the coast. That's going to affect I-95. Some fog in Illinois, Michigan, parts of Wisconsin, and Indiana. And find Baxter County right there. Yeah, there's a little bit of that radar showing it too. So it just may be picking up the humidity. For today, we're going to have a high of 80 degrees, partly sunny, low of 60 tonight. Tomorrow, high of 79. With a low of 63. Thursday, high of 80. That ambulance just pulled up. If Gil pulls in, he's going to, of course, he may be watching.
Gil's going to wonder what happened.
What on earth is going on in there? Did they get in a fight? Thursday, high of 83, low of 65. This is perfect weather. You know, the dew point has dropped. We're at 59 on the dew point. You know, Friday, high of 85 on Saturday, lows in the low 60s. Beautiful weather in store for all of us. So,
I love it.
Oh, I do too. This is a fun time of year. Anyway, morning weather brought to you by Greg's Farm Services, on the farm, around the home, in the community. No burn bans, low wildfire danger. Missouri's drought is getting better. A D3 all the way down to about a D0. Arkansas just in pretty good shape there drought-wise, so I think we're in pretty good shape. And so, once again, Greg's Farm Services brings morning weather each and every day. And check them out, gregsfarmservices.com. Community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 741-2883.
All right, I'm going to go over the fair right offhand because it actually starts today. The fair's the 11th through the 15th. There's just so much going on. I'm going to just do a quick recap. I know that tomorrow we've got the parade. It's at 5:30.
Yep.
After the parade, they'll have some local bands, high school bands play immediately at the fair on the outdoor stage. On Thursday, we got After Grace, which will be playing between 7 and 9:30 on the outdoor stage. Friday, Eastern Heights, it's a band from Branson. They'll be playing from 7 to 9 on the outdoor stage. And then, of course, Saturday is the Melodicats, and they're a great program.
Eddie, Steve, Mike, Pete, and the gang.
Amazing band.
Yep.
Thursday is going to be Veterans Day from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Free complimentary tickets sponsored by Jim Brown Company.
Good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you bet.
Thursday, Senior Day, 10 to 5. Senior 65 and older, pick up your free pass at Garland Insurance. Thursday, Bull Broncs and Barrels is going to be at 7 p.m. Saturday kids activity at 10:30. They'll have relay races, treasure hunts, all sorts of stuff going on. It'll be a ball. I mean, it's
going to be fun. Looking forward to the county fair.
Our fair is always a big thing. And they will be having their Super Smash Brothers. It's a little video game tournament.
Yep.
They're going to be playing it on the Wii U console. You may bring your own console. It'll be on Thursday, September 13th from 5 to 9 at the Fairgrounds Building, C1 building. All admissions are $2 entry. If you do early, it's $5 at the gate. So go ahead and sign up early. You can call Sherry at 870-404-1030 to get your ticket.
Welcome out in her shoes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Benefit to help victims of domestic violence. For more information, call Serenity at 424-7576. Takes place on October 6th at 10 a.m. at Bomber Stadium. Going to be a lot of fun. Guys get out there and clomp around the track in high heels or sandals or whatever you can find that qualifies. But a lot of guys get out there and...
I think that's something that Tobias should try out. I'd like to see him in some high heels. He's over there just smiling. Just shut up and keep moving
shut up
on.
And keep going.
Keep going on.
If looks could kill, Scooter. If looks could kill.
Oh, he loves me.
But, I mean, we have an issue with domestic violence in this part of Arkansas, and we need to bring it to, number one, awareness, number two, to a halt. October 6th, 10 a.m., walk a mile in her shoes, $25 minimum donation, and it helps Serenity. You can call 424-7576 or email porterjenellen@gmail.com. Very important issue right there. Hootin' and Hollerin' in Gainesville, Missouri takes place on September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And this is the 58th annual Hootin' Hollerin' Festival up there in Gainesville. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's the week after the Baxter County Fair. So Gainesville coming down for the fair. Baxter County go up to Gainesville for Hootin' and Hollerin'. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ozark County borders Baxter County, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. Hootin' and Hollerin' been going on for a long time.
They put a lot into it.
Yes, they do. And so the hootinandhollerin.com, you check that out online. But Hootin' and Hollerin' up in Gainesville, Missouri, the 58th annual.
That's cool.
It is. Anyway, it's 7:17. Baxter Regional Medical Center is here. Tobias is here. We got some guests to talk to, and so we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. It's a good thing I'm out of coffee. Where does this time go?
Where does that coffee go?
I think you got long-winded. That's what happened.
No, it ain't me.
It ain't you. Anyway, we're going to take a break. Be right back. Do you ever feel like your butt's dragging and you could really use a lift? Ozark Diesel Off-Road. Ozark Diesel Off-Road has been installing lifts for over 25 years. They specialize in all your off-road vehicle needs, from general repairs such as engine diagnostics, clutch and brake repair, to custom fabrication like axle gears and lockers, leveling and suspension kits, and everything in between. So if your vehicle could really use a lift, head to Ozark Diesel Off-Road, located at 5051 Highway 62 East, or give them a call at 870-425-LIFT.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas is your home for national and international award-winning pizza. Nemus Pizza offers artisan-made award-winning pizza with only the freshest and finest of ingredients. Each pizza is made from scratch and hand-tossed at the time you place your order. And also check out their calzone strombolis, an oven-baked folded pizza stuffed with your choice of meat. Sauce can be on the side or included inside at your request. Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas, your home for award-winning pizza.
Our roll burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with a pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
And we're back, and me and Tobias were getting into a little discussion. The Yankees? Wait, do you remember that commercial where the chuck wagon people are out there and they're having dinner, and Cookie, what's this salsa? Look, it's like New York City. Get a rope.
Hey, I understand if my team had 10 less wins than my guest team, I'd be a little upset too.
Listen to this. Rub it in.
What are y'all, third place in your division? We're in second, so I don't think either one of us got too much to brag about. Yeah, but
y'all are American League. I mean, that's 3A ball over there. Anyway, this is your alma mater, right?
Yeah, man.
There
the
you
Panthers.
Go,
good to see Yellow Summit getting a little love on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are y'all going to be over there this week with Exo 7 football?
We are going to be in Berryville this Friday filming Berryville and Yellowville.
Yeah, wow. So you get
that's always a good game.
It is. That's kind of like they're one of their rivals, and it'll be a good game.
I hear good things about Yellow's team this year.
Yeah,
they're doing all right.
Yeah. We haven't filmed one yet.
I think Salem got them. You know, Salem's come up too.
Yeah,
Salem's got
the Greyhounds or something
teams.
else. Yeah,
they've been good for a few years now.
So it's
there's
that pretty good rivalry there starting to gel again with Yellowville and Salem.
Yeah, both good teams. A lot of good local football, high school football.
And once again, we need to support these kids.
That's right.
Salem.
Yeah.
Yellowville, Mountain Home.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is so important. It is. It really is.
Building a foundation. And I heard you say the thing about 9/11 too. That's so respect to all of the people that put their lives on the line daily to make sure we're safe. It's funny. You razz me about New York a little bit. I did live out there for a couple of years.
Did you? We're in the city.
In the city, yeah. And actually worked in the. One of my clients was American Express, so I'd go over to the World Financial Center, and some of them were there.
Really?
When that happened, and to hear their stories about, they're right adjacent to each other. And, they'd seen the bodies fly by as they were jumping out of windows, and they said just forever changed their lives. And there's a lot of people that ended up leaving American Express after that. They did end up evacuating that building, but just some of the stories they told, just horrific.
Wow.
But change topics, something a little lighter, because I do have Chris Fry here with our ambulance service today, and Justin Woods with our foundation, and we're going to talk about some of our emergency and life-saving things that go on right here in Baxter and Marion counties
that we take for granted.
Yeah. So,
literally.
Well, we're just fortunate to have these things, and that's the great thing about my job is I get to come on and talk about all the good things that go on at Baxter Regional, and that's why we brought Chris today. And he's our expert, and to hear him talk about our ambulance service and hear his passion, it just really fires me up and makes me excited to work at Baxter Regional.
Well, let's look at the facts. With your ambulance, let's say you've got a cardiac arrest, you can actually transmit back to BRMC exactly what's going on. Is that correct?
From the really cool part about it is from the moment that I kneel by your bedside, or any of our medics kneel by the couch or wherever, and we say, hello, my name is Chris, I'm a paramedic, and we start putting those leads on you. From the moment we're putting on those leads, we're transmitting not only your vital signs but your EKG back to our emergency room. It also goes up to the also goes up to the cath lab area, and also goes into our dispatch center. And then if we choose that by looking at your EKG along with the ER doctors, if we choose that you have what we call a STEMI, which is a heart attack rhythm, that EKG then even appears on the cardiologist's cell phone right away. So even if the cardiologist is in his office with patients or out golfing or at lunch, that EKG is appearing right there. So, and the key here, what really saves lives is the time that's saved. From the moment that team sees that we have an actual STEMI, they are responding to the ER. So in the old days, when we would bring you in the ER, you'd go into the ER and you'd sit for 2 hours while we run lab and x-ray and all that sort of stuff. And honestly, that 2 hours is heart muscle. So we had much not as good outcomes years and years ago. Now, when we follow this pattern, as we come through the door to the ER, the cardiologist, along with his entire team, are waiting for us at the door.
And they already know what's going on.
And they already know what's going on. They know your medical history, everything. We go straight up to the cath lab, where the cardiologists, basically kind of like a roto-rooter, they put up a wire into your heart and they clear out the blockage. And the cool thing about this is our time, it was a couple months ago, the times change every couple months, we keep track of them, but it was about 56 minutes from the moment I kneel at your bedside, from the moment I say, I'm a paramedic, how can I help you? 56 minutes later, they have that cath into your body, they've cleared out your heart. And my father-in-law is a good example, had a horrible heart attack. I was actually here doing a TV interview when it occurred.
Oh my God.
And he was the very first person to go through this process that we have set up. He was released on blood thinners 2 days later. This is a very common thing today where, it used to take 6 weeks of bypass surgery and what we call the zipper chest and all kinds of cardiac rehab. Now, those patients are being released 2 or 3 days later on blood thinners. I mean, it's massive. It's wonderful. Really helps out the community a lot.
It's amazing that the doctor can see it on his cell phone.
Yeah, well,
technology
has really come far, and hopefully soon we'll be even moving to 5G, which allows us to transmit even more data, and it just really gives us a leg up. Even in finding the houses when our dispatch center dispatches us to houses, everything from GPS to the way that our dispatch center handles the calls.
Okay, I got a quick question. I've got the green sign with the white number sitting at the driveway. Does that help?
That is so important. That is massive. So here's what happens is, every day of the year you drive up and down your driveway, you're used to where you're at, and you know how to find it. Well, now you have a problem, and 2 in the morning you call for an ambulance. Well, a lot of these people, they live on back roads, or they live in, there's lots of pretty yard work and trees and stuff, but the numbers don't show up very well. Those green signs with those white reflective letters, it helps us to find your house just in an instant. It's so much better.
Well, I saw a cartoon, newspaper one time. This guy is panicky, and you see the flames around him, and he's on the phone, and he's all panicky calling the fire department. He says, "What do you mean, how do you get there? Don't you have those big red trucks?"
Yeah.
It's like, you ought to know where I live. No, you're not mind readers.
Yeah, no, and the most frustrating part for us is, sometimes we'll get out there and people won't have their houses labeled even at all. Mm-hmm. And we'll drive up and down, and on our screen it shows where the house is supposed to be, but sometimes there's a cluster of 4 or 5 houses there. And if your house isn't well labeled, it can add a few minutes to us finding the residents. So definitely, if you have the ability to label your house, that really helps us out a lot.
Now, I've heard that where there's medical needs, it should be white letters on a blue sign. Is that what you look for? You look for white on green, or does it really matter?
That's wonderful, but to be honest, we just look for anything we can see.
Okay.
You know, if you can somehow label your house with realistically, like you said, white letters is really good because it reflects at night. But anything that lets us see your house number. As a matter of fact, a lot of times our dispatch center will tell you, turn on the porch light, maybe send somebody out by the road to, wave us down. As archaic as waving us down is, that is effective. Boy, when we're driving down that dark road and we're looking for houses and we see somebody with their hand up or sitting in their car flashing their lights, it's like, okay, there's the driveway. We're on target.
When I had to call the ambulance last week, I said there's a green sign with white letters, say 1513, which is the number, and good, whew.
Yeah, that is that. It makes all the difference, because that's something we really stress. Is, like I said, one of the most embarrassing things is to get in the area of the house
and can't find
and then driving in circles trying to find the actual house.
Well, we're a city now of 15,000 people, but you don't just travel in Mountain Home.
No, we go out in the rural a lot, and that's another thing that's kind of a frustration sometimes. Is some people have just to be funny, a Yugo or a Prius. They have a small car, and they'll let their driveway become very overgrown by trees and bushes and stuff. And for them, they drive up and down that driveway every day with that little car. Well, we come through with our 9-foot box ambulance, and the trees basically knock off all our antennas, take our lights off. So we'll park the ambulance down on the road. The problem is now we got to get all the way up your driveway to you. So if you have the ability to trim your driveway so that an ambulance can get up there, that really matters a lot too. We can't keep knocking antennas and lights off the ambulances. So we've started parking down on the roadside sometimes.
Let's take a quick break. It's coming up on 7:32. We want to talk about the ambulance fundraiser. We need to do that right after the break?
Sure.
Okay. More with BRMC right after this. Stick around.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the Mountain Home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done, so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right products.
Why would I?
$7:33. We're visiting with Baxter Regional Medical Center, and do we need to? How do you want to talk about this fundraiser? You want to do it now or talk about it later?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull it up, and that's why I brought Justin, who works down in our foundation, does a great job speaking with folks. But he can tell you all about this website and kind of what we're doing right now and how this all came about.
Sure.
Well, there it goes. Sorry, Scooter. Can you pick that up?
Yeah, you bet.
There we go.
You got it.
So, so is all the great things that Chris was talking about and that we've been discussing, all of that kind of falls apart when you don't have a vehicle that can get you there.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, we still have great vehicles that are out every day saving lives, but we do have two that are nearing 500,000 miles on the ambulance apiece. So, that being said,
500,000.
Yes, sir.
How many miles yours got on it, Dale?
I'm at 212.
Yeah,
that's not bad. And you take good care of it, and we take good care of our ambulances. But eventually, you know, you can do all the repairs you want, and it's just not going to help. So we have 2 that we're going to retire. We're going to let those guys, you know, they've done a good job for us, and they're going to retire, but we need to replace them because we've got, like I said, busy crews. We've got a community that needs us, and so every year the hospital gets about $40 million in capital requests of equipment that needs to be replaced and things that the staff needs to continue doing what they do. Well, the hospital is only able to fund about 12 to 13 million of those requests, so that leaves a big deficit. And at this point in time, our ambulances is an area that is an important need, but maybe wasn't as urgent as others that we had. So the hospital has come to the foundation and said, you've done it before, the community stepped up before, we need you to talk to them again, see if we can raise $200,000 to get these 2 new vehicles.
So they're $100,000 apiece?
Correct.
You know, that's not bad for everything that's on those things.
Yes, that's right.
Chris can tell you. Now, is that should be a Ford, what's that, an E350 or 450 chassis?
Those ones are E350s that you're looking at in the picture.
Are they rear duals?
Actually, now that I look at it, that may be one of the 450s there. That's actually a picture of one of our newer units. That's not actually one of the...
Are these diesel?
Well, some of ours are now, and some of them aren't. They used to all be diesel, but it's a long story. But the emissions rules changed, and getting a diesel in that type of ambulance anymore is you can't do it. They can't fit all the stuff under the hood. So the only way you can get that type of an ambulance in a diesel anymore is
because I started to say where it says 172 oil changes, and I know the Ford diesels will sometimes take 12 to 16 quarts of oil.
Oh yeah, we're crazy about our maintenance. We take that's the reason we make it to 460,000 is we take really good care of the stuff that we're given. The problem is that at this point we just can't keep maintaining it the right way. It just at 460,000 there's not much you can do. And you know, you had mentioned 100,000. That is for the ambulance. All the stuff in it, though, that's an additional.
Because I'm guessing the base chassis, if that's on the E350, you're going to be talking about a $55,000 base.
Yeah, and then they build it up from there.
And then they build it up from there.
By the time we're done, we have a unit that's new, ready to go for $100,000, and then we take our equipment from the current ones, and we just move all that equipment into the new one, so we're not having to totally outfit a new system.
We try to be responsible with the dollars that we're given.
Well, yeah, but you know, to say, because guys, I was thinking $250,000 per. Literally, I really did. I was thinking 250,000.
Fully outfitted, a brand new unit, totally brand new off the showroom floor, fully outfitted. $250,000 would not be an unusual number. You're right. But we, because we already own most of the equipment from all the other ambulances and the time that we've been in business, all we do is we just replace the ambulance and then move all the technologies and all the expensive stuff. Actually, the stuff that's on the ambulance costs. I mean, just the monitor we were talking about. That monitor alone costs about $35,000 to $40,000, depending on how you outfit it.
And then we get to the point: do we spend that money or not? Because at $35,000, how many lives did it save?
You
can't count.
You can't count. We actually, kind of a neat thing, when we first got those, we could only afford to buy 2 or 3 of them. We always have 5 or 6 units covering the 2 counties at any given time. So the problem is that there's only a couple of pieces of equipment to go around. And one year we finally got to 4 of them, but we have a minimum of 5 trucks on the road at any given time. And one of our volunteers heard a spiel I was giving, and afterwards said, "I'll get you one." And sure enough, within a week, the SLT team had come to me and they had bought a brand new. He actually didn't buy himself a pickup truck that year that he had saved his money for, and instead bought us a Life Pack 15. That has impacted so many lives. What an amazing contribution to our community. I mean, it just changes what we do every day.
And Justin, you're with the foundation, so this is one of those things where I use that good old MASH line where Margaret's talking to Frank and a little Korean boy is wanting, of course, to stick a crowbar in your wallet and give it to him. So is this where we just need to pry it open and give it a little more?
You know, our community has always been so generous, and I have been getting phone calls. We had an article in the newspaper, which was very well received.
Yeah, I saw it.
And you know, our group does a great job. Chris does a great job of explaining and getting people excited about what we do, and it is literally saving lives. So our community's always been very generous. They continue. I had 3 or 4 phone calls yesterday of people wanting to know how they could give to the campaign. Of course, as you have pulled up there, they can go online and give an online donation, or they can mail in a check, and that information on where they can mail that check into is on there as well. But no, I have no doubt that we're gonna hit our goal and get what we need, and literally that's the only reason Baxter exists as it does today, is because of our donors. So,
and you guys always travel on nice, smooth, dry, flat roads, right?
Yeah. It doesn't work that way at all. Like I said, we're going down cattle trails half the time out in some of these residents.
If you believe that, then LSU is going to beat Alabama this year, right?
Yeah. But you know, the technology that those trucks carry is not it's not just common everywhere. We're very blessed. Baxter Regional has stood behind us with everything from the technology on the trucks to our dispatch center, and it impacts people's lives every day. If I have our dispatch center about a year and a half ago or so had gotten a call from a lady whose baby wasn't breathing, and she of course was on the phone and she was upset. And I mean, how do you calm a mother whose child's not breathing? And our dispatch center is different than most dispatch centers, where many dispatch centers, when they get the call, they will get the ambulance en route, which is what you want, and then afterwards they hang up. The problem is that if you're 12, 15, 20 minutes away from an ambulance, you know, if you're not breathing or something, there's no life-saving care going on. And by the time we arrive, the person or the baby or whoever can be, well, either dead or injured indefinitely because that care wasn't there. Our dispatchers, we have a what's called a medical dispatch, and that's where a dispatcher actually stays on the line with you, and a computer reads what the dispatcher's typing in. All of this is going out to the trucks through the internet, and it's appearing in the front of the trucks, so the paramedics know what's going on as we're coming. But the dispatcher stays on the line and actually gives life-saving instruction. In this particular case, our dispatcher stayed on the line with this mother, calmed her enough to get her to move the baby to the ground, to breathe for the child, and when the ambulance... What's that?
Mouth to mouth?
Mouth to mouth, yes. The mother didn't know it. The dispatcher trained her and helped her get through it. I just actually got to go interview these people about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I got to talk to the little girl. It was amazing. This little girl, when our paramedics arrived, sure enough, she wasn't breathing. They intubated her. They sent her off to Children's. Where the whole team saved them, really. But because our dispatch center for that 12 minutes was able to keep that mother breathing for the baby, it bought everybody time.
Sure.
And rather than a dead little girl today, we have a little girl who's running around, bouncing off the walls. She loves to eat fruit roll-ups. She's you know, wrestling with her brothers and sisters. I mean, it's just a really good outcome, where 10 years ago we might not have had that outcome. The technology really impacts the community.
And you know, people see the flashing lights and hear the siren and think, oh, it's an ambulance, they're going to be driving fast. I bet your average speed is probably not much more than 25 to 30 miles an hour.
Oh, we don't, we actually, you know, the driving fast is back in the old days in the 70s.
In the movies.
We have everything on board our ambulance, and radio communication with a doctor and sets of protocols. Everything in the back of the ambulance really mirrors what's already in the ER. Even though we drive with lights and sirens, we really don't drive that much faster. We try to avoid that entirely. That kills people, to be really honest. And we just don't endanger the community that way when we can help it.
These look top heavy, and so on the nice, straight, smooth roads we have, you don't want to turn one over.
All ambulances are top heavy, and definitely that's part of our driver training, which we undergo every year, is understanding the kinematics and the physics of how an ambulance behaves, cornering or going fast. And good ambulance drivers, honestly, don't drive fast. They give a smooth ride to the paramedic in back, so that paramedic can be doing the IVs, the intubations and stuff. That's driving fast is a thing of the old days. We just really, that's not really that effective. It doesn't save that much time. No. You know, a 10-minute ride at 40 miles an hour versus 70, it really just doesn't impress the time factor, the clock.
That's true. How can we help?
We've made it really easy to donate. You can go to baxterregional.org/ambulance, and there's a little page there that'll kind of reinforce some of the things that we've been saying. We'll give you some stats, but at the very top there's a blue button that says donate.
Up here?
Yep. And
There it is.
You can
right
do
there.
this from your desktop computer. You can do this from your mobile phone. And you can go on there. You can select your donation amount, put in your information, like that's done. And we're offering some really, really neat opportunities. We're going to be at the Baxter County Fair. We're going to be at local football games like we always are. But we'll have donation envelopes available there that people can pick up and mail in their donation. If they're not comfortable using something online like this. We'll also be out at Turkey Trot this year and have a pretty big presence out there. So a lot of opportunities to give. We're also really excited about donations over $1,000. And we'll take $5, but if you donate over $1,000, I'll adjust and tell you what that gets you.
Sure. Well, we're going to outfit one of these new ambulances with a really cool wrap. Not sure exactly what that's going to look like yet, but it's going to be really neat, and we're going to find a way to incorporate a donor name or signature in that, so that as it's driving around town, people can see that you've given and you've invested in the hospital. So, and that is a important point I wanted to just reaffirm. Any donation is impactful in this campaign. We've received as much as $25 up to $3,000 so far. So, and I'm sure we'll receive more of those. But every little bit counts. It's a community effort. So, yeah.
Hold that thought. 7:46. Need to take a quick break. We too have to pay some bills, so we're going to be right back, and we're going to try to raise some more money. Be right back.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there. I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support, and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Do you ever? $7:49, finishing out the show with Baxter Regional Medical Center, and let's raise some money here, guys. We had 20 people give $500 today. That make you go home happy.
Oh my goodness, you betcha!
You'd be dancing in the street.
That's right. I'd do something special, I think.
100 people giving $25. That'd help too.
Absolutely.
We'll take anything we can get.
That's right. That's right.
And so once again, these ambulances. Let me back up here. Right here, the ambulance fundraiser. How many miles on all these ambulances now? On the average, are
well, the ones that we're wanting to replace, almost 500,000. The average.
I would say the average is. I mean, the average of a 250 would be when we would want to retire ambulances. The problem is we've just had a couple of years where the hospital financially hasn't been able to replace the units that we've needed to retire, and so rather than 250, we're up to 450 because we still have the same value, actually more. Last year we ran almost 13,000 ambulance calls.
I'm
between
seeing
the two
it right
counties.
here, 12,839 trips in 2017. 430,000 miles, 26 new sets of tires, and 172 oil changes.
Yeah, that's just on one of the ambulances. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
They're busy. They're busy trucks.
Oh, I know.
But, you know, everything really builds upon those trucks. You know, the quality of our dispatch, the quality of the paramedics, all of that. If we don't have the truck to get to the scene, it's really kind of a waste. You know, it's like, you know, building your house on a sand foundation. And we do have good ambulances that are working for us today. It's just these paramedics. Like I said, we keep our crews honestly with the highest level of certification that you can obtain in the state of Arkansas, and we make it mandatory. Where a lot of services, three main certifications that are really, we feel, are very important. One is called ACLS, Advanced Cardiac Life Support. One is called PALS, which is Pediatric Advanced Life Support, which we touched on that a second ago. That impacts children every day. And ACLS, PALS, and PHTLS, Pre-Hospital Trauma Life Support, which all of these certifications we make mandatory, and they're really the most advanced certifications that the paramedics can get in the state of Arkansas. A lot of other services, it's we'd like you to have these, but Baxter Regional even pays to make sure that we are each certified in this. And this impacts us because, example, PHTLS, our protocols, our doctor, Dr. Brad Schultz, is actually a former paramedic who went away to medical school, and then of all places, he could have gone anywhere and made money. He comes back to Baxter Regional. He runs our ER now, and he does the medical direction for the ambulance. But he brings back protocols, honestly, the most advanced in the state. For example, TXA is a blood clotting medication that got its origins in Afghanistan and Iraq. We're using it on the ambulance now. If you have a severe trauma, a gunshot, a horrible car wreck, whatever it may be, with a doctor's order, we go ahead and use that TXA, and it's a big deal across the country. Not all ambulance services or medical services are able to use it.
Let's talk about car accidents. You know, we've talked about cardiac and not breathing, stuff like that, and then having to respond for most generally parents or elderly that might have fallen. What you have to deal with in a car wreck. Now, guys, I've been in the salvage yards. I've been in the car business for a long time, and I've seen the aftermath of car wrecks. I've seen face imprints and windshields. I've seen teeth stuck in the dashboard. What you guys go through is unbelievable, and I've heard the stories from the fire department. How do you handle situations like that?
So our main goal in those situations is to get the patient to a surgeon. If you're truly having what we're describing, which is a major trauma, paramedics, nurses, and even regular doctors don't save those patients. All we do is we can buy time. A surgeon is who saves those patients, because really internally they're bleeding out, whether it's a gunshot, a car wreck, whatever it is. And what paramedics, doctors, and nurses, we don't fix that bleeding out on the inside. The only thing that can fix that is a surgeon and a surgical center. And our wonderful hospital is a level 3 trauma center. And we have some of the most advanced trauma surgeons. These guys are awesome. We come through that door with a trauma, like in a car wreck. We've already given TXA to slow down that bleeding that is occurring internally, the part that we can't address. We also have the ability, and this is a big one, we do something called RSI, which is rapid sequence intubation. Only 4 other services in the whole state are able to do it, but we found that if you're badly burned, if you're badly injured, this also creates what's called PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You can imagine if you're burned so badly over your body and you look, this affects you psychologically long-term, plus it hurts you. I mean, it's very painful. What we do is we really come in and we give you a medication to put you to sleep, and we intubate you. We put a tube in your lungs, and we really take over for your body. This allows your brain to not really witness the traumatic events that are occurring at this moment. You wake up in the ICU a few days later, and the worst of it's over, you know, you're still going to go through rehab, you still have surgeries to go through, but that really scary time where life is changing for you, you kind of got to sleep through. It also makes it easier for us on the care side in that we're not having to deal with you fighting or being scared. We're able to control your body better and have better outcomes.
So it relaxes the body, it kind of numbs the mind, and you can you can get back to a more natural.
Absolutely, and it affects you psychologically less when you're not witnessing those things going on.
Okay, let's say you're on Highway 5 South, you're up by Dollar General, you've got a head-on collision, possibly 2 to 3 cars involved, 2 cars, you know, you've got a big mess here. And you've got traffic. It's 3:30, 3:45 in the afternoon, you got school buses. Us as motorists, what do we need to do to help you when you're sitting alongside the road? You've got 3 people in 2 different cars, or whatever the scenario may be. You've got a job to do.
The wonderful thing is this is a big team effort. We as the EMS side, we don't worry too much about traffic control, all of those things. We have a wonderful team. Our fire rescue and our PD and our sheriff's department, they all come together and they allow us to focus on that patient. Now, what we need from the community when this is going on, first is understanding. Those police officers, those sheriff's department, those rescue members that are out there, some of those rescue members are out there totally volunteer also. They are just giving their time to help this community. And we just need to be understanding that if they're asking you to hold up in a lane, we're not being mean. We know you're in a hurry to get to work or to a birthday party or whatever. We just need you to hold up in that lane long enough that we can save somebody's life. We have people sometimes who are very angry or mean when they have to be, you know, slowed down or diverted. Just follow the orders of the police or the firemen or the rescue members. Let us do our thing. We above all we want to clear out of there as quick as we can. We got somewhere to go with that patient. So we're going to clear the area and we're going to get that traffic moving again as fast as we can. But we just need that understanding. So that would be the primary thing, is just to give that opening.
Justin, what else we need to touch on with the foundation? I noticed down here, let me open this up now. I want to make sure we get plenty of time on this. There's a little box that says, make this a monthly donation.
Sure. We have folks that rather than do a one-time annual gift, they'll do a monthly gift, and those are greatly appreciated as well.
Can it be done on a draft?
Yes, sir.
That's
draft,
easy.
Credit card, you bet. We can run those monthly. We can debit those from your account monthly, and if that's the way that works for you, that's the giving method that's going to make it achievable for you. Well, by all means, we appreciate it and can do that.
Tobias, about 2.5 minutes. What else we need to cover? 23 gentlemen here.
Just, you know, we really appreciate the opportunity to come out here and to talk about our wonderful ambulance service. We are very fortunate to have this level of care here available for us.
What other cities this size can talk like this?
I'm going to give
Baltimore, Maryland could do
Chris
this
the last
good.
couple of minutes and just talk about when he walks into a statewide ambulance meeting with the Baxter Regional shirt on, what that means.
Not a lot of other service can talk this way. We go to meetings on the state level because we lead a lot of things, and when we get there wearing our Baxter Regional shirts, it's always a proud moment to walk in. You're very recognized. We're recognized as leaders in the state, everything from our community paramedic program to our protocols. Our medical director sits in these meetings and on these boards. We're very respected in the state, and that really means a lot to us. I think the donation thing, it's kind of interesting from the point of view of myself and my peers. We've spent our careers helping to save lives as part of a team.
Yeah.
And we're very blessed to have that. This gives the opportunity of someone who has not done this their entire life to be a part of saving a life. When you make that donation, you become part of our team. You are a piece of that. And in the case of getting your name on an ambulance, I mean, that right there, we're carrying you with us every patient we go out and treat. I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
It's been very informative. When we write the check, how do we write the check?
Sure. Just make that out to Baxter Regional Hospital Foundation. And if you'd like to do it to the ambulance campaign, just indicate that in the memo line.
Okay. Yep.
And we'll get it to where it needs to go. And we are hoping to have these new trucks out on the road by December. So that's the plan, I believe. And they'll be back out there saving lives.
BaxterRegional.org/ambulance.
There you
Do
go.
it right there from your phone in the comfort of your own home.
Wow.
And if a person would like to make a significant gift, maybe over $1,000, that can be done maybe over a couple of years if that would help them. Something
Sounds
like
good.
that. So.
Got to wrap it up. Be back tomorrow. Have a great day. We'll never forget 9/11/01. See you tomorrow.